CNG technology is evolving at a breakneck speed, and with it, the perceptions around CNG-powered vehicles. And while the likes of Maruti and Hyundai have been playing the field for quite some time now, Tata Motors entered the fray with the Tigor and the Tiago CNG. Today though, the spotlight is clearly on the Altroz CNG. It features the twin-cylinder technology, and in this episode, we're focusing on some very key elements like boot space, the drivability, and the feature list that this hatchback promises. You're watching HT Auto. I'm your host Shubhadeep. Stay tuned to what promises to be a very exciting day out with the Altroz. There's nothing radically different or new on the outside of the Altroz CNG compared to the regular conventional Altroz. What you do get though are 16-inch laser alloy wheels, LED DRLs, dual chamber projector headlamps, shark fin antenna on the top, and the iCNG badging in fact is the only unique element that tells you that this car is a CNG. Another unique element of course are the dual injector pump elements on the back of the car, one nozzle for petrol and the other for CNG. Tata is offering multiple color options on the Altroz CNG, and the list includes blue, grey, red and white. But the biggest update inside the Altroz, or rather the most unique highlight, are the cylinders that are in the trunk. Now the twin cylinder technology basically means that there are two cylinders which are placed side to side, and therefore that is what allows for a lot of cargo space in comparative terms on top of the cylinder kits. Now this is of course not how you would get the car out of the showroom. The cover, the casing has been removed by us to explain how the cylinders have been fitted. The gross weight of the cylinders is 50 kilos. The company tells us that that's good enough for about 10 kilos of fuel to be pumped into this car. Of course it gets a full-size petrol tank as well, so range anxiety is something that you can just toss out of the window. But the biggest question, how many bags can this boot actually gobble up? So as you can clearly see, no cargo challenge is too big for the Altroz CNG. But now it's time to actually find out what the cabin has on offer, because often CNG cars tend to compromise on features. The Altroz CNG is being offered across 5 trims, with the XZ Plus optional with sunroof being the top end version. Most of the upper variants of the Altroz CNG come well equipped with an exhaustive feature list, which includes IRA connected car technology, 7-inch main infotainment screen, 4-inch digital instrument cluster, a 15-litre cooled glove box with illumination, an air purification system, wireless phone charging, fully automatic climate control, and my personal favourite, a sunroof which can be controlled through voice commands. Open sunroof.
Okay, opening.
Although the feature list for a CNG vehicle is quite impressive and exhaustive, the one feature we didn't like too much is the rear camera, which appeared to be a little pixelated. Some of the rivals that the Altroz CNG has to compete against, remember, now offer 360-degree camera angle. The Altroz CNG comes with start-stop button, so the press of a button, press the clutch, and the car comes alive. Now by default, the Altroz CNG will start on CNG mode only, but there is a button right here next to the steering wheel. The press of it, the light goes off, and this car goes into petrol only mode. Now the 1.2 litre petrol engine has been obviously carried forward, but this one comes with the CNG technology, which means that in CNG only mode, there is around 72.5 bhp of power at your disposal and around 103 Newton meters of torque. Now that's on paper definitely lesser than what you would get from the Altroz in its petrol variant. The good part about all CNG vehicles though is that you can get the higher numbers of power and torque if you switch to the petrol only mode. But in day-to-day driving conditions, you will really not feel that there is any downgrade of the power and torque because the Altroz CNG drives pretty much on expected lines. The linear progression of power is truly on course with what you would expect from a Tata CNG car, and that's great. So the Altroz has always been a relatively fun car to drive within city limits. Out on open highway stretches such as this, even in CNG mode, the Altroz does have a fair bit to build momentum and pull itself forward. Where the Altroz CNG tends to lag is when you are trying to go a little uphill, because there is that engine groan that makes itself felt, and you really have to work the gears to find the right slot and get the momentum to build enough to do the climb for you. There is really no change in the drive dynamics or drive performance of the Altroz when you press the button and go to the petrol only mode. So the power build-up is definitely a little more aggressive in the petrol mode, and my recommendation would be out on highway stretches where you need to do consistently triple-digit speeds, or you need to do constant fair bit of overtaking, then the petrol only mode should be your choice. For the over-enthusiastic, the eager driver, the CNG mode on open stretches may feel a bit of a short change, but for most others, the CNG only mode on the Altroz does a fair bit of job. Plus, of course, you are driving green and you're driving a whole lot cheaper. The Altroz CNG starts at 7.5 lakhs and goes up to around 10.5 lakhs ex-showroom. Now, compared to the Altroz without the CNG kit, this one commands a premium of around 40 to 50,000 rupees. And up against the Baleno CNG, which is its direct rival, the Baleno is starting at around 8.5 lakh, but it has only two variants, with the top variant priced at 9.5 lakh. On its own merit, the Altroz CNG has several aces up its sleeves, and the trump really is in its boot space. It's also decently well kitted inside the cabin, and the drive traits are quite good for daily city commutes. What do you make of the Altroz CNG? Do let us know about your thoughts of this car, and do also check out our full in-depth written review and our photo gallery. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned also for more such reviews.